So here's Sopranos Season 6 Part 2, Sopranos Home Videos. This is the first episode. Well, it's essentially episode 13 of Season 6. This is what makes this episode different. This is a very uncomfortable episode for many people, because what makes this episode different is that this is the first time that The Sopranos actually only has one plot in the entire episode. So basically the whole plot of Tony going to the lake house to see Bobby and his sister, and the eventual fight, the monopoly brawl between Bobby, Bacala, and Tony that will set apart, is that this is the only storyline of the episode. So usually what Sopranos does is they usually have a dark episode and kind of a lighter comedic episode, storyline, where basically they have an A plot and a B plot, and you're sort of like, even when it gets a little too dark, you can go to the B plot and it kind of like lights you up a little bit comedically. But this one is like completely only one A plot going the entire, and it gets very uncomfortable, and it becomes very like, it's very jarring. Like, even watching the episode the first time, I was kind of like, I didn't want to really watch it again, and watching it a second time, I was kind of like thrown about it. But of course, it's the memorable fight between Bobby and Tony, and it's all about pride and like, in the ego that they both have, and eventually Tony, because he's the boss, will basically punish Bobby, and basically Bobby will basically kill somebody for the first time, because Tony will basically call that hit on Bobby. And then it's this episode where Bobby goes back to the lake house and picks up his daughter, and he's lost his innocence, and he's the last man, and because of Tony and Tony's own pride of losing the fight, it will make him lose his innocence. And it's just such a depressing episode, and it's kind of an interesting episode to put after as the first episode of the part 2, the kind of like the anticipation of the final 9 episodes. That's my review of Sopranos Home Videos.